How's it going, everybody? My name's Ryan. Welcome to Crosswatcher. I want to apologize in advance for the one second. Apologize in advance for the distractions. I am in a public place. I have no choice. I have no control over that. I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible. So if you're not sure about why you've tuned on to this video, go ahead, check my other videos, check the channel description on what I'm all about. Take a few looks into my videos and see how I do things. We're just gonna get right into it because I got a very important read here with a channeled message, and it's pretty extensive. It's pretty big, and I'm gonna try to keep at least to most of the format that I'm used to. Let's start with a little bit of incense here. Let's clear the air and get comfortable. Grab yourself a tea and brace yourself, because this is going to be a little bit different than my normal readings. Like I said, I've already pulled. We're doing Thoth Tarot, and I've got Oracle clarifications here from the Oracle of Ascendance. I've gone and I've done some research into these cards and what it's trying to tell me, and really picking up a heavy energy here. And basically what this is a collective reading, but basically what this is sort of a relationship reading. Possibly, definitely for most of you, it's going to be someone from the past. Okay, this has to do with a person's motivation coming in, and they have a very demanding energy, but they are also working on themselves. And this also involves children. There's families out there, beautiful family out there, and a beautiful child out there. I heard her earlier learning to count in Spanish, and so you might be a Hispanic ascent. Your child, your daughter or son might be learning how to count in this time. So yeah, I don't want to waste too much time because this is pretty extensive. So what I've done is I've pulled six cards from my written word clarification affirmations, and I've let Spirit pull a bunch of Thoth, and then I've pulled like maybe more than half a dozen Oracle of Ascendance cards to get us some more in-depth detail to the energy. So let's just get right into it. Okay, Spirit, guide us through this. This is going to be a heavy one. All right, hopefully you can hear me properly. There are going to be distractions. It's Sunday, and people are riding their motorcycles, showing up in gangs, and I'm in a public setting in a tent. This seemed to have worked out last time, so we're just going to get right into it. I'm surrounded by crystals, got my incense, got everything smudged and ready to go. So let's do this. So I'm not going to pick up any of these cards because they really need to stay where they are, but I will try to be as clear as possible. So starting in your past tense cards. So we have an earth sign, okay? And this person clarified by the Knight of Discs is definitely moving in, creeping in. They've been working on themselves, like I said, and it's most likely that they have good intentions, pure intentions. But essentially, what lies in their shadow kind of prevents them from being able to settle into relationships, and this probably has something to do with a past person, maybe possibly a separation or divorce. An earth sign with a high vibration, but essentially is like a natural witch, whether or not they are a practicing witch or they just don't understand their true power. They have a strong influence, clarified by the strong influence on you, possibly the family, or in their own lives, clarified by the Hierophant. And it's possible that they might have a broad social media presence too. Take it as it resonates. So they are on board, or you are on board. The on-board card came out with this, basically kind of signifying that the two energies coming together cannot cannot get rid of each other. And we have mostly major arcana, which is kind of telling me this is divine intervention. This is a test that somebody has to overcome energetically. Twin flame, soul tie, or just a really clever karmic. Earth element came out signifying that they are an earth sign, or they have a strong earth sign influence. Other earth signs that came out are Taurus. Let me see. I believe that was it as far as the earth signs that came out. They could be a Taurus. You could be a Taurus. But then that doesn't negate the fact that they could also be another earth sign. And in the shadow aspect, or moving into the shadow aspect, we have an influence of Mars in Pisces, clarified by the 10 of Cups. And with this Mars in Pisces, they have a habit of attacking emotional imperfections. So they probably have a habit of attacking you where you're most vulnerable in your emotions and your emotional energies. And Pisces is doubled down. I believe it could be a Mars in Pisces, could be a Moon in Pisces. They could be a Pisces Sun. Also clarified by the Oracle Pisces card. Okay. So that's moving down closer to the shadow aspect. And in the shadow aspect, we have pay it forward, clarified by the Hermit and the 10 of Swords. So that's 2 10s, one in the emotions, one in the energy, powerful energy, with a sun in Gemini. So this could possibly also be an air sign, a sun in Gemini. And pay it forward in this aspect is telling me that they are working on themselves, and they do have good intentions, but ultimately are still succumbing to their shadow aspect of themselves, that attacks certain imperfections on you. I'm not going to say that you are this sign. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is them. But you are on board with them. You have a close tie to them. You have a soul tie to them. And for some of you, this might be a relationship that you have not gotten into, and you still have not been presented with or passed the test that this relationship is supposed to teach you. Hermit, Sun in Gemini, the 10 of Swords, which is the ruin. So this is, saying to me that despite all the work that they're doing with themselves, are going to do in the future, they are probably more or less working in the wrong aspects at the wrong time on their timeline, as far as opening their chakras, meditation, crystal work, whatever they're doing. It's not that it's not working. It's just that they feel the need, because that they have been working on themselves. They feel the need to go forward. So this is probably a very ambitious energy, wanting to start something new, start something over. I'm sorry. So that's half the read. I forgot the channel message. I apologize. Let's get into this apology. Let's get into this apology. Let's get into this channeled message. Probably at the right time in this read. Moving forward, I'll try to make this as quickly as possible. This channeled read is, or this channeled message that I started last night at 12 in the morning or whatever, and finished just an hour or two ago. And this probably isn't a coincidence at all. Okay, but this one's called, try to get through this as quickly as possible with 9 minutes on the clock. Unidentifiable people and patterns. Get ready for a healthy new start, along with a healthy dose of Mercury in retrograde. As people and patterns in your life become certifiably unidentifiable, make no mistake about it, change is here. This may in fact be the time where you need to reassess who you are or how you are in the lives of others. And for some, it may be time to get to know a whole new breed of individual, even if that new individual is you. The way you've been and the person you've been for yourself may no longer serve you. Mercury in retrograde tells us that there is always a time when we must take a step back from the way we have communicated with ourselves and others, and the patterns in the way we approach the time and space aspect of our own personal lives. Usually, when we think Mercury in retrograde, things that come to mind normally include malfunctioning electronics and miscommunications of all kinds. But on the topic of the ascension process, we may be able to rationalize a window of opportunity to access the flow of energies that might have been in order to reinterpret our attachment to them in the space and time we find ourselves in the present moment. For example, let's say you are traveling west with the wind blowing from the north. To your right is a field of cattle, and to your left is a field of lavender. It wouldn't matter how much you would rather smell the field of lavender to capture that moment of bliss and beauty if the wind is blowing across a stink field of pungent cow patties. You can gaze all you want. Imagine laying in the field of fragrance of the flowers. You can even take a photo. But you're still going to smell nothing but potent cow dung when you think back to that moment you cross west between the fields. Now imagine yourself traveling east, Mercury in retrograde, back the way you came. Only this time, as you approach the area with the two fields, there is a roadblock, forcing you to stop momentarily on the road you are traveling forward on, and the wind is still blowing in from the north. Unexpectedly, my apologies. Let's keep going. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Unexpectedly, everything has come to a stop in the very place you have no choice but to smell all the glorious cow mess you were dreading the entire trip, hoping not to experience again. Only this time, you now have an opportunity, because of the roadblock, to actually get out of your car and collect lavender from the field and take it with you. Hopefully this time giving you a renewed perspective on an otherwise undesirable experience. In this example, the cow fields and lavender, as well as the wind represent the flow of culminating energies. Your travels and direction in your experience represent your perception on time and space. Since energies as well as time and space are fluid and not stuck in a linear set way, Mercury in retrograde provides a reflective energetic opportunity to reestablish our connection to past and present experiences and the way we communicate with those energies. The only test being, do you have the guts and patience to deal with the holdup and get out of your energetic car in order to take on this new perspective? All right, so hopefully we're not too disbanded from the message that we're getting with all the distractions and everything and the camera falling over. Let's continue. Okay. So I'm going to put that message up in the community post along with this video if you need to refer to it later after this read. Okay, so we've established that this person's coming in. It's either a clever karmic or a soul tie, and they've been working on themselves. They have their problems in their shadow, but essentially you're not going to be able to get away from this test, right? Their energy or your energy is clarified by their influence with growth. Let's go back a little bit. They are on board, you are on board with each other. They're paying it forward with the work that they've done. internally with their shadow. They aren't done working with it. We got Pisces, Mars and Pisces. They attack imperfections. Also, Neptune card came out in there, so perhaps they live by the ocean, or they have aspirations, or connected. Maybe that has a connection with Pisces. Maybe something about there's a strong. Maybe they have Aries in I believe Aries in Neptune, or Neptune, yeah, perhaps Aries and Neptune. Maybe Neptune kind of clarifies the shadow games that they play, because it's in the shadow aspect. And so moving on, so the top card is the Om card, and I wrote down what the advice is that through all this, no matter what happens, and possibly them too, both of you are gonna have to preserve your balance and peace and harmony through the chaos, because this is going to be a chaotic communication. Okay, Mercury in retrograde. Whenever this happens, possibly Mercury does have an influence, or this might, miscommunications and disruptions might happen around with this person, might happen around Mercury retrograde. So, moving down from the advice of the Om and balance, we have growth with the Hierophant, representing a growth in influence, or that they're trying to grow and harness this power, this earthly power that they have, and trying to be careful and balanced with their influence, with their reach, right? And maybe they might say some things, a lot of things, maybe negative things on their social media, possibly even talking trash about you. Who knows? In the past, that might have happened. Hopefully, they've deleted all that moving forward. Moving down in the very center cards, we have clarifying the work that they've done and clarifying an Aries forward-moving energy, possibly keeping in mind that they could be a fire sign. Kundalini and the third eye chakra, kind of clarifying in a way that their approach to all this might have been a little bit either backwards or staggered, focusing on the wrong parts of spiritual growth and ascension. Okay, it's not unlikely. We're not going to touch too much on those. The third eye chakra came out opposed to the Kundalini, with the Aries right in the middle. Okay, so, and in the shadow aspect of that, you have the inner demons affirmation card, inner demons, in the shadow aspect, clarified by the universe. Okay, kind of signifying that no matter what, you're going to have to maintain your balance consciously, as you or them balance or work through your inner demons with this divine connection. Okay, and this is also telling me that you are not responsible for the work that they put into themselves. Okay, this is that's a channeled message. They have to work on themselves, and it might require a bit of hermit mode detachment from them or you, and consciously telling them that you have work to do on yourself, and they have work to do on themselves. Okay, but we don't want to close the door. I don't have the close the door card on them for whoever this applies to, but you do have a connection. Okay, and so moving on from that, we have, in the light aspect of this, between growth and your future cards, we have the heart chakra card coming out, kind of signifying that you've done the work, or kind of clarifying perhaps a next step moving forward into the future, a work that they have to do, and they have to establish the energy of their own heart chakra, open up their heart chakra, or work on it, or channel the intentions moving forward to come harness that energy of the love and balance and integrity from their heart chakra, basically putting all their ducks in a row metaphysically. Okay, and this does have something to do with this not only energetically, but from a money standpoint, or maybe possibly even from a family standpoint, like the what grounds them in this world, with their motivation moving forward. they 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 are moving forward. They think that they're ready, right? With the energy, they think that they're ready. The work that they've done on themselves also might imply to the work that they've done on themselves financially, um, possibly legally, okay? But that they haven't really fully gotten that, but they can't help it. They're still, they've been creeping forward, but they're soon going to explode forward with their energy, thinking that they're all just ready, okay? And it is what it is, really. That's where the advice comes in, because you can't really tell this person that they're not ready, and they might really be crafty with their words and their energy moving forward in any way to kind of signify that they are ready, or that they're trying to balance both at the same time, both their motivation energetically moving forward and their finances, their legal situation, whatever that might be. Okay, they might have had some trouble with the law, or this might just have to do with the separation or divorce and the legal papers that were signed. Okay, and then so heart chakra, right? Heart chakra between the growth in your future cards and the Hierophant, moving down into your energy, which is the Empress energy. Or if you're a mask, if you're not, I'm not trying to say that the Empress is female or male, but whoever is in this Empress energy, whoever might have the children, they have children, it says. But it's mostly saying that whoever this person is, whether or not it's a man or a female, a male or female, is that this person is coming from, has done the proper work, and they're coming from a love aspect, okay? And they have, and if there's no children involved at all, they have all their ducks in a row as far as their vision, energetically, and on their timeline, to what exactly interprets into the proper family, or the right way to go about forming a relationship or a family. Hopefully that's clear enough for you. Moving down into the shadow aspect, this is between cards, between inner demons, between your future cards, between growth, between your future cards. I'll get into the future cards in a second. You can probably see them. We have Taurus and Cancer, okay? So these are the players in the astrological chart. We have an Earth sign. We have Pisces, we have Taurus, we have Cancer, okay, and then we have a from where they're coming from, or between where they're coming from in the present moment. We have a sense that they are going to take action. They attack imperfections. Whoever this is, they are doing the work. They're working through their inner demons. You are not responsible for them in the inner work that they do. You are responsible for your inner work as long as you work on yourself. This isn't going to amount to much, except 11 on the clock. This isn't going to amount to much if you try to, in the 3D aspect, just try to fix them. Okay, you should not be trying to fix them. You should be trying to just work on yourself. I think you're doing okay with that right now in the present moment. And moving forward into the future, if you do have children, think of the greater good. The children definitely come first, and don't drag them into this. Don't talk trash about whoever this is. Okay, that's not the way to co-parent or co-create. Okay, on the road to ascension, don't forget, we do ascension tarot here. But this is a relationship, and this is a sensitive matter. So with that 11:40 on the clock, moving forward from the right work that's been done, and the players involved, or the energies involved, with the grounding of the Taurus and the fluidity of Cancer, earth and water coming together. That's possibly what this is. Somewhere in your chart, this is earth and water coming together. This could even represent you. You could be a Taurus with a Cancer moon, or you could be Cancer. You could have Cancer node in one of your nodes, maybe your north node, south node. Pardon me, with my astrology is not all that perfect, but this has strongly to do with Pisces influence, Taurus influence, Cancer influence, Aries influence, And there is a sense of a Sag moon. And I want to take a moment to say happy birthday to Sag. This reading isn't specifically for you, and it might not have anything to do with you at all. Unless it does, leave me a comment down below. Sag, you hold a very strong place in my heart. Happy birthday. Okay. Apologies that this reading isn't for you. Moving on. Let's just start with the kind of advice that you get in your future. With the hexagram, basically overall, protect from negativity. Sort of doubling down on the Om with preserve your balance, peace and harmony through the chaos or negativity, trying to balance out trying to balance out the callous nature of whoever the hell this is coming in, and the things, and forgive them that the things that they cannot control about themselves. Protect with the hexagram symbol, possibly a Jewish influence in this, possibly for some of y'all, or just a strong sense of spirituality from their ancestral background. You and them both, their advice is to protect yourself from negativity, however that may manifest itself in your life, moving forward into the future. Now, this is where it kind of gets a little deep and heavy, kind of stating that you really can't control anybody, and the universe has control of all of this, and all you can do is work on yourself because you do have free will. On your approach moving forward, it says looking for trouble in the light aspect, looking for trouble. Now maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this person is consciously looking for the troubled portion of themselves, or that's the approach that you take, looking for those troubled portions of yourself in your shadow, moving forward in a strong sense of spirituality. Okay, possibly even being in touch with your ancestral background, your genealogical cycle, however that may resonate for you. Looking for trouble clarified by the 9 of Wands, or the Strength card, right? And that is Moon and Sag, and with a Sun motivation. So you could possibly be a Leo, or for some, this, and if I all this is scattered as far as the astrological signs. If it doesn't seem to be making sense to you, just take it as it resonates for you in your chart. We got Moon and Sag with this chart, and Sun motivation. So it's possible there could be a Leo presence here too, or just a fire sign in general. We have all 3 players in the fire. Aries, a sense of Leo somewhere in the chart, and Moon and Sag, or possibly a Sag. Okay. I'm not even gonna touch deeply on who exactly this is, because this could apply. There's a very extensive reading, could apply to a lot of people in a lot of different timelines, and through a lot of different dimensional perspectives. Okay, keeping in mind, time and space fluidity, and if you have any background on quantum physics, you will understand exactly what I mean in a vague sense. And I have to stay vague, but we got that 9 of Wands strength, okay, with looking for trouble. So this could be a good thing, and this could also be for some people not such a great thing, because it does say looking for trouble, okay. So a person who is either obtusely or covertly a magical person, whether or not they know that they're a magical person or not, uses their power not for the greater good or their growth, not in the right place at the right time, but also think of the other aspect of that. The flip side of that is that this could be them seriously working on themselves, whoever this is, not really having any ill intentions. I don't really get a full sense of ill intentions, but on a quantum level, there are energies in here who aren't using their power for the greater good. It is what it is. Okay. In this realm, in this earth realm, on my timeline as I'm reading this, I don't get a strong sense that anybody has any real intentions, but there are people out there who are coming from a background that don't have great intentions, and they are working on themselves anyways, okay? Like I said, it is what it is. You know, I'm not gonna title this video "It Is What It Is," but it is what it is. Sorry, it is what it is. Sorry. Okay, so we got a forward motion in. We got a forward motion, kind of clarifying all of this, but moving into the future, we got a forward motion with the spider card. Spiders represent a sense of forward motion, but also represents a weaving or a tangled web that a person might weave energetically in their lives, whether or not they know it or not. And in this aspect, it kind of tells me that they tangle, or they weave a tangled web everywhere they go. So it gives me back to what I think I was saying about how this person really just doesn't seem to get, doesn't seem to thrive in relationships. So that's why they're working on themselves, and they might have come across you, or they're going to come across you in the future. Okay. And like I said, in this divine intervention with 1816 on the clock, 1818 on the clock, the tangle webs that we weave, or the tangle webs that we find ourselves in, is just a matter of fact in the tests that the universe puts us in, okay, or maybe that we put ourselves in willingly with the looking for trouble, okay, but that could be somebody's strength, right? Keep it in mind. I'm trying to stay positive about that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There is a sense of being unlucky, but also that I always, with the unlucky number, I always try to clarify that is also a sense of optimism, okay, moving into the future, right? Sense of optimism, muster it up from muster it up from the awareness in your higher self, then through these confusing times, and work with that shadow aspect of yourself to untangle the web that you or they weave, or the web that the universe has tangled you in. Clarifying the spider and the forward motion, we have the Four of Cups, which is the luxury card, okay, which also kind of clarifies the sense of family, the sense of having children in one aspect or another. This is an aspiration moving forward in the future, or you have children, you have custody of your children. For a lot of you, that is going to be the truth there. We have Moon in Cancer, so that's Cancer doubled, okay, and we got Cancer on the side of this. We got Taurus on the side of the earth element, and the Aries, and the universe, and Neptune, however that might resonate with you. And then we've got Cancer on the side of Moon in Cancer, and Moon in Sag, with the Sun in the motivation, the Leo energy, okay? Aries, Leo energy, Sag, okay? This could be a fire rising sign,